Hello there and welcome to another exciting edition of your favorite all-women talk show, Sister Sister, live on City FM and City TV, also live on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182. Indeed, we're even live on DSTV audio. Yes, if you tune in to channel 882, you can also listen to City FM on that. So yeah, we're all over and you have no excuse to tune in, every single day this airs on this very station and network. My name is Jessica, your regular hostess for the show, and over the next 60 minutes, we're going to be talking about relationships. And today, the whole conversation is sponsored by Lydia. And I'll be telling you a little bit more about this really exciting brand. I mean, with Lydia, you truly decide. Like I said, I've got details for you. But coming up on the show today, should you be worried if you don't know any of your boyfriend's friends or family? And also, how do you move on from a relationship without feeling guilty? And sometimes it's a tough place to be. We deal with this and more later on in the show. We'll go for a quick break. When we return, I introduce my sisters, plus I tell you how you get to be part of the show tonight. Right, so a lot is changing around us, and sometimes it's really hard to take control of your life. But Lydia has some really exciting offers for you. They have something called the Lydia Daily Pill, which comes with iron. It's a regular contraceptive for all the ladies out there. And there's also the Lydia IUD. It's a non-hormonal contraceptive for long-term pregnancy prevention. So if you're in that space where you need to use contraceptives, I would recommend going for Lydia. You can actually contact their center on 1221. Just dial that number. It'll go straight to their contact center. Or you can WhatsApp 050-166-1660. It's quite an easy number to remember. Plus, you can find them on social media. Search for Lydia Contraceptives and you should be good to go. Lydia, you truly decide. So let's get into the show. Let's, get into the conversations. Before that, though, here is how you can be part of the show. Essentially, you can send a WhatsApp message if you have any questions for us whatsoever. 054-998-6996. You can also send an email to Jessica at cityfmonline.com or like us on Facebook. Now, it's very important. Search for @Sister Sister Live. You will find this very interesting logo right here on our DP. Like the page and join the interactions. My sisters are here tonight, and let's just say hello. Tina's in the house, though. What's going on, girl?
It's Friday.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go weekend, go weekend, go weekend. Yeah.
I don't even know why you're so excited. You work 247.
I know, but there's something about looking forward to the weekend, and even though you work like every day, it's not as heavy as the weekdays. Okay. So yeah, I'm very happy, and it was a good week as well.
Super stuff.
Yeah, thanking God for great stuff, and you look good.
Merci. So do you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the other ladies will be joining us shortly on Zoom as always.
Okay.
But whilst we wait for them to join us, I think we should just go right ahead and jump into it. Actually, let me see. I think I might have Olivia. Livy, can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay. Looks like Livy cannot hear me. So, whilst we fix that, we'll just go right into action.
Sure.
Okay, so my first story says, I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years. He lost his job a few months into our relationship, and things became tough. I have been super supportive in all ways that I can, from providing him with clothing, with food, supporting him emotionally. However, I must confess that the first 3 months of our relationship was like heaven on earth. I mean, I was getting everything I ever wanted in a relationship and in a man till the unfortunate happened. He's been job hunting for close to 3 years to no avail. My problem now is I'm not getting any younger. I'll be turning 30 soon, and I'm starting to feel the pressure from my family to get married. My boyfriend talks about marriage and how he wants to build a home with me. The problem is he doesn't have the means right now. I wholeheartedly love this man, but I don't know how long I have to wait for his breakthrough. This has been stressing me out, honestly. I recently gave him a 2-month ultimatum to step up his game. That is, he gets a job or a small business running for him, or risk losing me. I felt so guilty after telling him that. I fear he may do something he shouldn't because of my demand. Do you think I did the right thing? I really need your advice. All right, Tina, I'll come straight to you.
Okay, so what she's experiencing is life at its best. When I say life at its best, you typically know that life is not rosy. But sometimes you enjoy the life for like 5 years, 10 years, 11 years, for a long time before, challenges set in. But unfortunately for her, all the problems started 3 months into a relationship. And so she's now having to go through a lot for 3 years. She's been supporting a boyfriend, not even a husband, a boyfriend for 3 years. Now my question is, yes, he's been looking for jobs, job hunting, everything, but for 3 years he hasn't made a move on getting something going, as in, okay, doing odd jobs. And when I say odd jobs, maybe helping out with something and getting some, money, because typically a man is uncomfortable with a woman providing for him. Typically, and he always wants to push himself, or even vice versa. A hard-working woman also would not sit down for so long for a man to be providing for her all the time. So pushing him to get something of his own is the best and ideal thing, but the way it's done is what brings it into question.
Right.
So how are you doing it? You gave him an ultimatum, which I think is a bit okay. I would say I wouldn't choose that path,
right?
An ultimatum, but I would rather not spoon feed him for 3 years too. I would rather suggest things he can get into. And instead of providing for him all these years, I would maybe give him some bulk money to start something, or introduce him to people that I may know, or businesses that I know that can bring him some, income.
Right.
Because an ultimatum, as you said, may put him on edge and may force him, if he really wants you that bad, may force him to get into something that's maybe a deal that he's not supposed to get into, and then push him in all sorts of ways. And then if maybe he also wants to go already, he would find his way, okay, fine, you say you want to leave me, so fine, then go. So I think if you really love him that much, instead of giving him an ultimatum, you can go back to him and then have a chat with him and let him know that, listen, I need you. I said what I said because I really need you to pick up from where you are and move. Right. So maybe I know A, B, C, D. I'm going to introduce you to them, and then you can move on. So I think maybe you should just change the ultimatum a bit. And
but she's already said it. She's already given him.
So maybe an explanation to why she did that would be good, to let him know that I said that only because I really love you, and I want to push you from your comfortable situation or from where you are. So it's not like I really want to leave you.
Right.
So something like that.
All right. I think the girls are on the line. Rosina, are you able to hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, super. Please tell me you've been following the conversation at least.
I have been.
Okay, great. So what do you think?
I think that I largely agree with Tina. I think that her biggest mistake was to allow it to go on for 3 years. Because the honest fact is that a man always wants to be sure that they are providing for their family. The moment a man cannot provide for his family, what happens is that there's this pride that he's stripped of. And most of the time, it puts him in a very uncomfortable state. But it's okay if they know that they provided for you before, but circumstances drove him to not be able to provide. But how long should you stay in that? I mean, he goes job hunting. In this day and age, when you don't get a job, you need to create your own job. I don't see why he should be job hunting for close to 3 years because he wants to be an employee for somebody. He's not getting it and he's not doing anything. Most of the time, people feel like they need that 6-figure job or 5-figure job. They need to have an annual income so big, so huge to show that, yes, they are the men. But sometimes you go start from somewhere. And in this day and age, there's no dirty job or there's no job. So far as you're earning money from that job and that money is legal and you can take care of your family, it is still a job. And I'm sure the woman would not be giving him ultimatums if he has started doing something, and at least even if the money is not looking after both of them, at least the money can look after him. You understand? But in this case, she waited 3 whole years. I mean, that wait sometimes will get certain men comfortable because you are doing the work anyway. And the hazard is that even when he gets a job, he will still be used to you taking the mantle, and he may not even contribute to the home because he knows, like, oh, you've got it for 3 years. Why can't you do it for another 3 years? That's one. Now, the second thing is ultimatum. When you are in a relationship, no matter the circumstance, I think it's bad to give ultimatums. Discuss, communicate, put your cards on the table. Let him know why you would rather A, B, C, D, E, and not the other one. But the moment you give an ultimatum with time bound, in 2 months, either this or you put the guy in a very uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
Oh, so now because of money, you are calling ultimatums for 2 months. Okay, and you're quiet. Or you'll be forced to go into some illegal dealing just to keep you for the 2 months. And in the end, you'll be surprised that maybe that dealing after getting some small money from 2-3 months, he might even lose it. Or worst case scenario, he might get himself into trouble. So I think giving an ultimatum was bad. What you should do is to let him know that, look, babes, you know that I really love you and I've been with you for almost 3 years, even though you don't have money. So you should know that I'm not with you because of your money or anything. But if you want to build a family, you may not be able to build it based on what I am earning alone. You need to set up and do something. Maybe I've thought of A, B, C, D, E that I think you could get into, or have a few people that I think, and maybe he may have some strengths that he probably doesn't even know is a strength. You draw his attention to it. Maybe you could, instead of thinking of, working as an accountant for somebody, look, you are very good at events or very good at being an MC for somebody. Why don't I link you with a few people? So you can start MCing people's events, you can start doing certain things, and then who knows? That may even become his mainstay. So I think that the ultimatum is where I part ways with her. And then allowing it to happen for 3 years is where I have a problem with. But that being said, the harm has already been done. So go back and do proper communication with him so that both of you can appreciate where you are at, where you want to go, and then you can work towards it together.
Okay. Olivia, she does make it seem as if one of the reasons why she gave the ultimatum is also because she's feeling a lot of pressure from her family to settle down. She's 30 years and that kind of thing. Can she be excused for even doing that?
I don't think so. You see, I don't think so. It's all about tact and it's all about how you communicate with your partner. I mean, the ladies have said it. The last thing you want to do in this situation is to give him an ultimatum. And he's been trying here. I think he's been trying. Maybe he's looking at the problem, so he can't seem to look out of the box. You did say that in the beginning of your relationship with him, he was very forthcoming, he was very generous, he was there to support you, whatever you wanted. I mean, this guy was there for you, to give you whatever you needed. I mean, you had nothing to lack. And it just so happened that life happened. and he's lost his job. So rather than give ultimatums, what I think you could do from here, because I think that after you said that, his reaction is making you so worried because now you're scared that he will do something to himself. And so it means that what he said must have come across very hurtful. And he's in a state of mind whereby you're not even sure. And this is where I think that you can go back. Go back and apologize and let him understand that you didn't mean to come across like that and that you want the best for both of you. You're getting pressure from your family, all of that, but you love him. And really, this is a test of your love for each other. And like the sisters have saying, like Rosie is saying, like Tina is saying, what you could do is rather than look at the problem, how do you both find solutions to the problem? What are the alternatives? What can you both do? Trust me, things do happen. There's always ups and downs in every kind of relationship. Assuming that it was you who had lost your job when he was working, you could be comfortable with the fact that he'll be forking out the money for you. It wouldn't even be an issue and you'll be fine. But here's a case whereby the situations have turned around and he's lost his job. There are marriages whereby something happens and the man loses his job and the woman has to hold the fort. I mean, when hubby and I were living in the UK, it got to a point in time whereby I had to support, but at the end of the day, it was about communication. Okay, this is the situation. How best do we move forward? It's been 3 years. I know it's such a long time. So moving forward, how do we solve the problem? Yes, he's looking for jobs. What can we do to support him? What can you do to support him? Because if you genuinely love him and you think that he is the one and he hasn't given you any reason to doubt his love and he treats you right, and the fact that he just doesn't have the job is an issue, and I can understand it's an issue because it's an economic world out there. We need money. Love is not enough to to pay the bills. So the question is, what do you want, and do you have enough time to see him actually have a breakthrough in his life? What can you also do to support him? We know that you've been supporting him all this while, but rather than ditch this entire relationship, you've invested 3 years of your time, your love, your money, your resources into it. I don't think that you should just let it go. I think that you should buy a little more time, speak to him. It's different if you speak to him about coming up with other ideas in terms of looking out the box and finding something to do, finding a job, and he's just not doing anything and he's not bothered and he's there. Okay, if you say that and he's not bothered, that's a different story. But if you can see that he's being proactive, he's taking advice, and he's actually, no man wants to be there and just there and not provide for his family. I mean, it's their pride to be able to say, oh, I've got this, I've got my family sorted out. So please have that conversation with him. Go apologize and tell him that, my dear, I didn't mean to come across like that, but I love you and I want this to work. And I'm looking at the entire picture. What can we do to move forward? Your links and stuff like the sisters have said, by all means, and let's see how we can solve this as soon as possible. It will surprise you. And like I always say, please pray on it. You never know what's going to happen. Just pray on it and move. Don't just pray and just sit there, but pray on it and move. You never know what doors will open for you. I do believe that miracles always do happen. And take it from there, you'll be fine.
Okay. Now, for me, I would just say, take into cognizance his posture, his general posture, and sort of figure out the kind of guy he is. I say this because, and Tina, I don't know if I ever mentioned the story to you. I've been in a situation like that where I actually got a job for him, but it wasn't a job that he wanted. Oh. So he refused it. And this was if he had done it, like, it would have benefited both of us in the end, but he didn't want to. So it was two things. Either he was just comfortable with the fact that, okay, everything would be taken care of anyway, so I won't get off my butt to work, or, he was just a lazy guy. So you also want to look at these things. What type of man is he really? Because 3 years unemployed, you shouldn't be writing to the show. He should. To talk about the fact that I really love this woman, I want to marry her, and yet, I don't have a job. What do I do? Do you guys have any links? Like, you should see in his actions day to day, him online checking newspapers for, checking the classifieds to see what jobs he can get out there. But if he's just comfortable at home, just another day, after all, you bring the cheese. then you might want to look at this guy again. Let me bring a couple of comments. Israel says, probably a good idea. His breakthrough might be stuck with you. Who knows? Maybe you guys will find your breakthrough when you go your separate ways. All the best. Ifya says, this life is funny. It's neither here nor there. Your story brings to mind acrimony. My dear, pray with him. Support him with capital to start a business if you can. And let's see what God will do. Otherwise, if you can't take it anymore, just leave him. Sammy says, sincerely, the lady has tried. It's not easy for even a guy to support his lady selflessly for that long. But my dear, if you love him that much, you can help him establish something small for himself. Franklin says, so you can't marry a man who's jobless whilst you're still working? What if the table turns in his favor? Should he marry you when you're also jobless? Please, if indeed you love him, go ahead. God is capable of changing his situation. Hans says, you seriously did the wrong thing per the ultimatum. It's not as if he isn't striving to get a job. And who knows, maybe the long wait would be rewarding enough to get him $1 million job. And you'd both enjoy after all these years of sticking together. Ignore the pressure from family members. Francis says, as soon as the biological clock starts ticking, they don't hear anything. No. I hear ladies fall in love with men they love, but they get married to who is ready. All the best in your endeavors. Follow your instinct. That's an interesting comment. We should discuss it sometime, ladies.
I agree.
Posh says, no, who gives an ultimatum for marriage? Do you think the job you have now is permanent? The same thing could happen to you. You should support him with opening up a business rather than buying clothes and food. And finally, Ernest says, just take a walk, leave the innocent man alone till his breakthrough comes and he meets a more deserving woman. Those are a few of your comments coming in tonight. Don't forget, you can send a WhatsApp to 054-998-6996 or send an email to jessica@cityfmonline.com. Remember, the show is brought to you by Lydia, and with Lydia, you truly decide. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we return, yet another email.
Just not ready yet.
I want to wait a little before getting pregnant again.
Stop worrying and live free. No matter who you are, Lydia has a contraceptive just for you. Choose the Lydia Daily Contraceptive Pill with iron as your regular contraceptive, or the Lydia IUD, a non-hormonal contraceptive for long-term pregnancy prevention. Contact the Lydia Contact Center and let us help you decide how to live free. With Lydia, you truly decide.
The COVID-19 pandemic is still with us. Stay alert. As we welcome some of you back to school, here are a few things to note to stay protected. Always wear a mask to cover your nose and mouth. Do not wear your mask on your chin. Wash your cloth face mask daily. Avoid touching the front part of your mask when in use. Do not share your face mask with your mates. Avoid touching your nose, mouth, or eye with unwashed hands. Surgical and N95 masks are not to be used for more than 8 hours. If you're using one made with fabric, wash it in warm soapy water as often as possible. Remember not to use the same mask for more than 12 hours. Dispose of quickly any used tissue into a bin. Do not spit around. Wash your hands with soap under running water regularly. Use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer frequently. Cover your mouth with a tissue or bent elbow anytime you cough or sneeze. Observe personal hygiene. Do not shake hands or hug anyone. Always keep a distance of at least 1 meter from any other person. Do not share personal items with your mates. Do not leave campus if not necessary. Inform your house or hall master or mistress if you feel unwell. Do not self-medicate. Eat nutritious foods with fruits and vegetables. Register your name daily in the attendance register. Avoid crowded places. Sleep well and avoid stress. Do not give out names of your mates with COVID-19. Let's show concern and love. Welcome back to school. This public announcement is brought to you by Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Information, and our partners.
Welcome back, Sister City TV 97.3 City FM. And we'll go into our next message, and here it is.
Hi, Jessica. I'm Atre from Kumasi. I met my boyfriend on Facebook where we used to chat until we exchanged contacts. I liked him along the way, which is why I accepted his proposal. I love him and I feel he does too, although it's a long-distance relationship. We've dated for a year now, but I don't know where he lives. We always meet at my place. I don't know any of his friends, not to talk of his family members. I know the area he lives in, but whenever I try to visit him at his place, he gives excuses. I'm scared because each time I talk about meeting his family, he says okay and forgets about it. The worst part is that I played a prank on him that I was pregnant, and all he could tell me was terminate it now. With all these, I'm now scared and not happy in the relationship anymore because he is in his 30s and I'm beginning to suspect he might be married or something. I found his siblings through his Facebook friend list. Should I end the relationship or go and meet the family myself? Please help me. What should I do?
I know it comes across as shady when someone you're dating just refuses to introduce you to anyone. But I don't know what the ladies have to say. So, Olivia, I'll come straight to you. What are your thoughts on this particular story?
A lot is wrong with this, if you ask me. You find somebody on Facebook, you start dating. You don't take your time to find out exactly who he is, give the relationship time, and you're intimate with them. You just said that. You played a prank on him, telling him that you're pregnant, and he's going on about terminated now. How do you end up being intimate with somebody when you don't even know them like that? And now he doesn't want to introduce you to his family. He doesn't want to, so at which point in time did you actually think that it was cool to know him intimately like that? You don't know where he's from. He could be a ghost, for crying out loud. This is me exaggerating, but really, there's things in this world, though. It's a crazy world out there. You can't just take things on face value. For me, if you ask me, I don't think it's a relationship that's going anywhere. He's not ready to even man up, assuming you had actually been pregnant. He wasn't even, he's like, okay, terminate the pregnancy. Does he really care about you like that? You don't know anything about him. You don't know where he's from. You don't know his sisters, his siblings. You don't know. And I don't really think he's into you like that. I feel like, young lady, you know what? I'm not going to judge you. People do make mistakes. Maybe you genuinely didn't know. Moving forward, don't have relationships with people that you don't know. Trust me, if a guy really loves you and they care about you, or they even care about the relationship that they have with you, they want you to have an idea as to their family. Like when you're chatting with somebody, even if it's just a regular friend or a work colleague that you've met for the first time, and you're just chit-chatting. Yes, clearly the first day you don't spill everything out. But once you start building some kind of relationship with them, the person at least knows that, oh, you live in this area. And I mean, for him, if he's comfortable with sleeping with you intimately, what's the big deal knowing where his house is at? Do you see what I mean? Don't get it twisted. Don't. I feel like I'm reaching out to a lot of young ladies out there. Don't mistake intimacy or sex for love. They're two different things. Love isn't like that. You can't use sex to sort of get a man to be bound to you for life. I mean, he's in and out of there. He goes about minding his own business. So, my dear, moving on, I don't think this relationship is heading anywhere, if you ask me. And I'm begging you not to commit the same mistake. Next time, just try and get to know the person a little bit more. Who are they? Where are they from? Where do they live? At least the siblings. You can't just jump in and know the parents. At least tell you, this is my brother, and the sister knows you. Oh, so this is my friend. You know that it's something that's going somewhere. The person is comfortable in having you in their space and vice versa. So it's a bit scary for me. So moving on, just do what you have to do. I'm not sure about an ultimatum in this matter, but clearly He doesn't want you anywhere in your life. If I were you, I'd advise myself and just, get out of the relationship. But that is just me. That's my piece of advice to you.
Rosina, she says she's found his family members, his siblings on, in his Facebook list. Should she reach out to them?
Why should she? Why should she? I mean, the writings are all on the wall. Sometimes I know that when you love somebody, and depending on how you see the person, it really affects. It's like when the heart is at 100%, the brain comes down, which is normal. So I can understand why she's desperate. She's looking for ways and means. In her mind, she feels she's probably committed a whole year to nurture this relationship, and she's probably thinking like, oh, we bond so well. When he comes over to my place, our intimate moments are special. So even though she's giving us all the red flags, in her heart, she still hasn't come to the terms of breaking up with him or not being with him. So she's holding on to something small. Okay, I've located his sister on Facebook. So should I go to the sister? You'd have the rudest shock of your life. Trust me. You'd have a big shock of your life. And you see, Facebook or social media friendships that lead to, of course, there are exceptions to the rule. But you see, once you know that you are taking such a risk, you need to take certain steps to mitigate the risk. How can you meet a man as a woman on Facebook? Yes, you talk small, you don't even know who. Look, even when people connect on social media, you realize that once you connect, you look for common friends, you try and ask around, even when you haven't even seen the person. Or, there's always something that happens, But for you to meet the guy, chit-chatting as a woman, you were so comfortable to bring a man that you haven't met, but only talked to on social media to your house. And this man is never comfortable with you visiting him, and you were able to open up the apple for him to chop. I don't understand. Because in the typical scheme of things, when there's dating or there's courtship, of course, you can meet at my place, your place, or neutral grounds to talk. And it's even dangerous because you should know that the internet is filled with a lot of criminals, a lot of wannabe people. So even when you vibe well on the internet, it's advisable that you start meeting on neutral grounds. Get to know yourselves, get to know the kind of people he hangs out with, get to know what job he does for real, get to know where he works. And Accra is big, but it's small. Ghana is even smaller. So whether you like it or not, you by all means find somebody who knows you and knows him. And it'll be more comfortable for you to deal around. But the fact that you started seeing that this guy doesn't want you anywhere around his house, for me, that would be the last time you'd ever have any conversation with me, if it were me. Because, come, you know my house, you come into my house, you know me, you probably know my siblings, everybody. You don't want me to know anybody around you, you don't want me to know your house. That's so shady. It's so shady. That sister you've located, in your best interest, you see, if you're in a relationship and you need to do detective work, in order for it to hold, it is not a relationship. It is a job without pay.
Love it.
And without any reward, possibly. You see, so for you to have to go around Facebook to locate his sister, and now you are thinking that to reach out to him and tell the sister that Charlie, he has, and that test you did, that you were pregnant, which means that you guys have been sleeping unprotected. Somebody you don't know his house, and you have been sleeping unprotected with the person. Look, there are all kinds of diseases on the planet. You don't even know the guy, you don't even know his house. You don't even know, Charlie, you don't know anything. Now you've pranked him that, oh, you are pregnant, and his first instance terminates that thing. So assuming you were really pregnant and he decided to change his number, change his chip so that you can't reach him again, how would you find the father of the baby? How would you know which house it's coming from? How would you even know that the name he has given you is actually his real name? Charlie, there are a lot of things that happen in this world. So my dear, locating the sister, dear, I think that it's a wrong move. Don't do it. You'll be up for the real deal. This guy on his own has showed you that he's not a man you should put your energies into. Start getting your brain to work and let your heart calm down.
Okay, and I hear Rosina when she says don't locate the sister. But here's my thing. Wouldn't you rather know? Like, because this guy's been acting shady. Your gut feelings telling you there's something off. If you have access to his siblings, wouldn't you rather know?
Well, maybe to put my mind at ease, I probably would fish out information, but I wouldn't approach them.
Okay.
I would rather ask around and know about his family and know who he is than to actually speak with his siblings. Because like she said, like that's a job without pay. When the relationship is right, nothing, you may go through challenges, but everything works together for you guys to be stronger. It always ends up right. I don't know how to explain it. So, in fact, when you finished telling us the story, or when we heard the lady's story, I just wanted to scream out, "He's a ghost. He doesn't exist." Like, all sorts of creepy psychos are on the internet, and we might take it for granted and laugh about it, ABCD, but seriously, this guy could be a ghost, like simple. Maybe he's dead like 3 years ago. See,
that's far-fetched though.
I'm not even joking.
Dead like 3 years.
Anyway, let me leave it there. But all I'm trying to say is that yes, it's too shady for you to continue in a relationship like this. For your sanity, for your protection, stay away. Stay away. Run away. In fact, run away. This relationship is not for you, because you may find something out other than he having a wife, having kids, having a whole life out there. I want to say he's a ghost. And plus, you don't have to work so hard fishing out information for a relationship. The guy should be very happy, or you should be very happy introducing your man or your woman to your friends and your family, or people you care about, because this is somebody you claim you love. And so it shouldn't be difficult for you to go back to the people that you've grown up with or your family and say, oh, you know what, this is the guy I want. So please, run away and cut all ties with him. Unfortunately, you've shown him your house. So in this case, I would say ultimatum is the best. Because it's not the first case where, you know, you're still in a relationship, you love the person. This one, you've realized he's shady. You've given him all access. So you need to be abrupt enough to suck him out of your life. Otherwise,
Atre from Kumasi. You don't have a boyfriend. That's just the fact of the matter. You know, he's obviously either married to somebody else, is not really into you, you're just a side chick to him. But I can tell you this for a fact. If it was me, I'll so reach out to his siblings.
You did.
See, let me tell you. Personal story, Charlie. Personal story.
But
listen,
Charlie.
No, wait. Let me just tell you this, my story. Rosina, hold it.
Okay.
So, ex-boyfriend comes back after like 6 years of being married. Got married to someone else, moved on. We've all moved on. Comes back with this story about how, you know, he's moved out, divorced from his wife, you know, okay, they have a kid. And I'm like, okay, so he's spinning all these lies. I'm taking it in, okay, or if you say so. On my way home that evening, Mancho reached out to his wife on Facebook. Oh no, because I wanted to find out, are you guys really done? Because this is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Right? Within minutes,
the guy called you.
He calls me. Why have you called my wife? I said, I thought you guys weren't together. And straight away, I could see through. Like, I didn't have time to go ahead. I mean, listen, Mujai, okay, let me find out if it's true. Because if you're truly divorced, I don't see why your wife would still say that you're married.
Exactly. Your ex-wife.
It saved me a whole lot of hassle. You feel me? And I get it. That is too much work. If you're in a relationship where you're constantly, you've turned into a spectator.
I tell you.
You know, it's not worth it. I get that. But then to give yourself some sanity, to just be able to move on clean. Oh, if you reach out to his siblings, what's going to happen? Me, my 2 cents, reach out to them. Find out if he's married. He's probably married. hopefully they tell you the truth, and then you can take a decision from there. I mean, that's what I think. Rosina, what are you going to say?
But for me, yeah, I was like, the reason why I wouldn't reach out is that, you see, there are different kinds of people. You see, this woman that you reached out to, for instance, sometimes you can have people who are rather on the side of the people. So the way they'll blast you, the way they'll say all manner of things to you, and some of them can even keep up with the lie
and
of their
cover
brother.
up. Yeah.
So if the brother is somebody who takes care of the family, or fra, once you start asking certain questions, the questions are, who are you? Why are you asking me these questions? And maybe she will not give you a response to begin with, and she'll go and tell the brother that this person reached, oh, sir, of course, why smart, tell her this, tell her this, tell her that, tell her that. Then she can come back and say, oh, in fact, your brother has been talking about you to me, and she and the sister can play you inside out. So sometimes you get lucky when you meet other parties who recognize the fact that, okay, this is another woman, and I wouldn't want her to go through certain things. They can be clean with you and even tell you and even,
give you more information.
Information.
But some other people, they will now put you deeper. They will not give you a certain sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
Or they now make you feel like, oh, now you know the sister. The sister will be calling you, be calling the sister. And once you look at the sister, the guy can get the sister and say, Charlie, you know what, this one is my side something. I'm not really interested. But Charlie, it's just something. You know, my wife, Charlie, maybe she's a bit of a trouble. I just need to vent out once in a while. So if she wants to meet people who are my sister, help me play along. And if the sister is someone who benefits from the brother, he will help you play along. And sometimes by the time the sister sees that you're also a nice person and she probably wants to help you out, a lot of damage would have happened. My thing is that, look, forget the third parties. The second party, as in the man himself, has given you every reason to believe that he doesn't love you. I won't go look for validation.
That's your cue.
Remember?
Just go.
Yeah. I mean, you make a solid point there.
You can always try, like just saying, I think you can actually always try, just so that you have some sanity and peace of mind. You never know, maybe the sister might be nice to you. We'll try and that's echo through for you, no problem. But for me, bottom line, a man who doesn't want to open up his side of his life to you, a man who doesn't want to introduce you to his family, is shady. So absolutely. For me, that's like a no-go, because at the end of the day, if you guys have to get married, at which point in time, it's been a year, 1 whole year, you don't know his sister or anybody some way. But I mean, like just the thing, I think you can always try, but for me, nah.
Yeah.
Just a story like this makes me miss all of us being in one space, because I tell you, like, anyway. Yeah. Run away.
But I mean, dear lady, I think you have your answers there. The guy is shady. So whether he wants to reach out to sibling, whether you want to just take a decision based on what we've said, this guy is up to. He's not your boyfriend, though. You're his side chick, if at all, or just some chick he uses when he's in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
One of many. So look sharp. Comments here. Anna says, my dear, end it right here. If you're looking for marriage material in him because he's a married man. Kofi says, Madam, he doesn't have his own room. He sleeps in the same room with his siblings. So have patience and don't go and disgrace yourself and the family. Okay.
True.
That actually might be. Maybe we're thinking too hard about this. I don't know how to be gentle in matters such as these. Someone is playing you and you can't see. What are you still there for? Use your head and get out. You've wasted enough time already. And did you say you are in love? Oh, Charlie, this person doesn't have a name. Lord says, hey lady, I'll not pamper you, but tell it to your face that you're being silly and naive. How can you be sleeping with someone you met on Facebook? Don't know anything about him. He avoids everything about his background, and you still say you love him? D says, if he hasn't gone to introduce you to anyone, then you're not in the picture at all. You're wasting your time, and the only time you realize it's a mistake, by the time you realize it's a mistake, the problem would have already occurred. Nana says, my dear, forget him and move on with your life. A man who doesn't allow you to come into his house is a married man already. No need wasting your time looking for his family when he's not ready to let you know them. Gifty says, I don't know why you've even wasted a year of your precious time. No. You are his side chick, my dear. The main one is there. Just do yourself a favor, move on. And finally, Agnes says, please listen to your intuition. You suspect he's married or could be in another relationship, possibly with children. The secrecy is enough for you to decide. We'll go for a quick commercial break. We will be right back.
I'm just not ready yet.
I want to wait a little before getting pregnant again.
Stop worrying and live free. No matter who you are, Lydia has a contraceptive just for you. Choose the Lydia Daily Contraceptive Pill with iron as your regular contraceptive, or the Lydia IUD, a non-hormonal contraceptive for long-term pregnancy prevention. Contact the Lydia Contact Center and let us help you decide how to live free. With Lydia, you truly decide.
The COVID-19 pandemic is still with us. Stay alert. As we welcome some of you back to school, here are a few things to note to stay protected. Always wear a mask to cover your nose and mouth. Do not wear your mask on your chin. Wash your cloth face mask daily. Avoid touching the front part of your mask when in use. Do not share your face mask with your mates. Avoid touching your nose, mouth or eye with unwashed hands. Surgical and N95 masks are not to be used for more than 8 hours. If you're using one made with fabric, wash it in warm soapy water as often as possible. Remember not to use the same mask for more than 12 hours. Dispose of quickly any used tissue into a bin. Do not spit around. Wash your hands with soap and running water regularly. Use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer frequently. Cover your mouth with a tissue or bent elbow anytime you cough or sneeze. Observe personal hygiene. Do not shake hands or hug anyone. Always keep a distance of at least 1 meter from any other person. Do not share personal items with your mates. Do not leave campus if not necessary. Inform your house or hall master or mistress if you feel unwell. Do not self-medicate. Eat nutritious foods with fruits and vegetables. Register your name daily in the attendance register. Avoid crowded places. Sleep well and avoid stress. Do not give out names of your mates with COVID-19. Let's show concern and love. Welcome back to school. This public announcement is brought to you by Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Information, and our partners.
I'm just not ready yet.
I want to wait a little before getting pregnant again.
Stop worrying and live free. No matter who you are, Lydia has a contraceptive just for you. Choose the Lydia Daily Contraceptive Pill with iron as your regular contraceptive, or the Lydia IUD, a non-hormonal contraceptive for long-term pregnancy prevention. Contact the Lydia Contact Center and let us help you decide how to live free. With Lydia, you truly decide.
Back, Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. Let's hear your comments. 054-998-6996. And if your messages, you have questions for us, actually, that you'd like us to treat on the show, you can email jessica@cityfmonline.com. And don't worry if your message doesn't get read in the next episode. It certainly will feature somewhere down the line. And indeed, if it doesn't even feature on the show, it might feature on our Facebook page. And sometimes some of the comments we get there are quite, they give you different, angles maybe to your problem. So you can look at that. Emmanuel has a message for us. Says, hello, Jess. I was dating a lady who got pregnant for me and wanted an abortion. I have strong views against it, so I frightened her out of the idea. She ran away from home and I had to put my job on hold to look for her. Her parents were so proud of me for coming forward. She moved in with me, and I did my best to treat her like a queen against my family's advice. She was usually home alone because I spent most of my time at work. Can you imagine she broke into my mother's room and stole her gold jewelry? I had no idea until my mom came from Kumasi for the pregnancy rites. This created serious problems for my mother and me. After failed attempts to make me reject the pregnancy, she vowed never to allow me to marry a thief. I did everything possible to solve the problem because I didn't want my kids to suffer the pains of a broken home like I did. My mom went to the extent of threatening her family until she confessed to the theft. After I found out, I was crushed and asked for some time to think about it. Her family, however, was impatient with me and had several run-ins with me till the relationship got bad. I later learned that they were not even her birth parents. Her biological mom threatened not to acknowledge the pregnancy rites we had performed. On my blind side, my mom was pulling her own strings to break us up. After she delivered, a friend of mine called and offered to help me solve the problem. Before I could say jack, she started sleeping with him. I confronted them and realized the guy had been defaming me to her all this while. As I speak, she's gone to live with him along with my child. That was it for me. I stopped talking to my mother, fought with my family, lost my job, and cut ties with my in-laws. I practically felt my whole world crumbling. I was so depressed I almost ended it, but for the timely intervention of a good Samaritan. My girl was making frantic efforts to maintain contact with me, but I completely blocked her. I saw her as very cruel, especially as she's living with a guy just across the street. I wanted to take my child and take care of him, but she's denied me access to the child. So I desisted from sending her money as long as she stays with that guy. I still haven't healed completely after a year. I'm still not on talking terms with my mum. I had a very strong bond with my child, but as it stands now, I hardly see him. I vowed my mom will not see my wedding day, talk less of interfering in my marriage. I need your advice. Too much happening here. Rosina, weigh in on this first, if you don't mind.
This is very heavy. You know, he's a good man. So he wanted to step up to his responsibility because he had impregnated the lady and the lady's family. But you see, theft and stealing is a big deal.
Very.
You know, and not to just steal, but to steal from a potential mother-in-law and to still go jewelry. I mean, that speaks a lot. If this lady can steal from your mother when you're not even married to her yet, maybe she probably just went to your mom's place to stay for some time.
Hi, Rosie. Can you hear me? Okay, looks like we lost her there. We'll try and reconnect, and then Rosie, can you hear me now?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, super.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, so I was saying that for your mom to find out that the lady you have brought home is actually a thief, it will be very difficult for her to want to support any form of marriage between you and that girl. And then on the flip side, your the parents of your woman, once they are not her biological parents and they know this about her, that she's probably a thief and all of that, I don't think they really want your woman's best interest at heart. So for someone like that, they will probably not really support her in anything that is good. So, but my only problem is I don't take it out on your mother. Your mother knows what she saw. She knows how it was done. And that's why she was trying to prevent you from seeing somebody else. And this woman, if she really loved you and cared about you, I don't think she would want to be involved with another man who is your friend, who was supposed to go there and make amends and prevent you from seeing the child. My only advice to you now is that, look, the boy hasn't done anything to you. Luckily for you, at least the boy had a relationship with you before the mother took him away. Keep supporting your son. Your son has not done anything to you. Keep supporting your son and keep record of whatever support you give to your son. It's very important. So don't be giving her cash monies. If it's transfers into her accounts, transfer into her accounts, and make sure you keep records so that in future when the boy grows up and probably wants to get against you, that you never took care of me, you never did this, you can actually explain to him that these were my challenges, but I was always there for you. I always prayed for you. I always wanted you in my life. But I think that woman is not worth somebody you should stop talking to your mother for. Because your mother didn't have anything against the woman until after the theft.
Right.
So prior to the theft, there was no issue. And every mother would want the best for their children. Sometimes they don't manifest it properly, but the intentions usually, almost always, are actually good.
Right.
So let's just, don't get angry with your mother. And I don't think that lady is somebody you should call. You because of that, you don't want your mother to witness your wedding now. I don't think it's the very best.
Right. It's quite sad that, amidst everything else, he also lost his job, in the process.
Yes.
Anyway, Tina, what do you think?
So I think this woman is bad news. he actively defended her through everything, and she repaid him with sleeping with his friend and moving in with his friend and his son across the street. So you didn't get anywhere else to go than across the street, where I can see you move out of the house and my child grow at a distance. So this is what I think. Rosie was saying that don't be angry with your mom. You can be angry with your mom, but you can forgive her. Like she said, the intention was that I don't want my son to be associated with a thief, with somebody who is bad news. Sometimes our parents can see what we cannot. So she was trying to prevent something. Maybe the way she actively tried to keep you away was a bit too much. So you can get angry, but you can forgive her because the intention was not with malice. Now, once you forgive her, you've won somebody into your life, as in you have someone, family in your corner.
Right.
Because what you're going through, you need support.
You need support, yep.
You cannot go through this alone. Like, it will kill you. Like you said, you wanted to give up at some point until a good Samaritan came in. Now, this good Samaritan, I don't know whether it's another woman or whatever, but you definitely need the support. And continue speaking to somebody, continue clinging to someone. And I hope you're able to forgive your mother so that you have that support. Now, for your sanity, if you can move out of the area, do.
Yeah, I agree.
Move out of that area, because every day witnessing your child growing up across the street and you not having access to is going to be tough. So once you are able to move out of the area and keep your sanity, that's good, and continue, supporting your child if you can, and keep the records like Rosina
Super
said.
stuff. All right, Livy, you have the final word.
I usually do, don't I?
You're special.
This is a clear example as to why it is very important to at least try to get to know somebody properly before you ever get intimate with them. Because then you would have ample time to know the kind of person it is that you're getting into a relationship with. And this is the more reason why I would, again, not condone premarital sex, because Charlie, too much wahala. Now there's a child. This woman is not a good idea for you. And maybe it is true that your mom saw something that you didn't see, because, like they always say, love sometimes is blind. So, but moving on, I think that what you could do for yourself is to forgive. Forgive your mom, forgive your siblings, forgive this girl. Don't give them the time of day. I mean, because the more you harbor a lot inside you, you're doing such a disservice to yourself, your health, your mental health, your physical health. Charlie, they're not worth it. And by all means, please get yourself together. I know it's hard, but get yourself together. Get back into your workflow. Get your swag on. Get your job. Get money. Do amazing things for yourself. And as time goes by, when you're getting into the next relationship, please let this be an example for you, a lesson for you, so that you don't try to commit the same mistake. It is hard, but trust me, there's love out there, and life can be beautiful. And by all means, please continue taking care of your son. Do what it is you have to do, but don't get invested too much with your emotions, because Charlie, it's not worth it. But you'll bounce back and pray on it, and everything should work out for you. Take it one day at a time, you'll be fine. And if it does mean that you need some kind of help or somebody that you can talk to, maybe something that you're good at, maybe you can write more, you need to sort of channel all that negative emotions into something positive. But I really think that this is not beyond you. It's going to be hard, but you can and you will overcome. So take it one day at a time. You're a good guy. You'll be okay.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to say much. Just listen to everything my sisters have said. I totally agree 110%. 10% with them. So it's been good. Thank you so much for watching another exciting edition of your favorite all-women talk show. And remember, if you want to, your questions or thoughts to be read on the show, you can actually email jessica@cityfmonline.com. You can also like our Facebook page. Now, it's very important, search for Sister Live. Not just Sister. Remember, the LIVE at the end absolutely must be there. Sister Live, you'll find our Facebook page. Like it, join the community, share some advice, of some of the stories that we put out there as well. We'll be back same time next week on your favorite station. Special shout out once again to Lydia Contraceptives, who are offering both the Lydia Daily Pill and the Lydia IUD. With Lydia, you truly decide. My name is Jessica. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.